It's fine. It's okay. It'll be
Well, our
covered.
names don't pop up anyway.
Yeah, no, they don't actually. Right? You know what? Oh, you're saying in the final edit? Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think this whole time I needed to upgrade my computer because it's not like glitching or anything right now.
Oh, good. New
I'm
house, new room, new studio
well,
audience.
I didn't upgrade my computer. I'm using Desmond's MacBook.
Oh,
I'm just not using my old super old Surface Pro 7. Oh, no, I did not. I was not one of the girls who got a new house, a new car, and a new computer all on the same day. No, it was just the new
The
house.
Lord to do it all at once. He'll do it all at once.
No, we use what we got around here.
That's hilarious. That is so funny. I guess to see what you're navigating. That's funny. What are you navigating? Please invite us in.
I'm navigating what I hope is going to be a great podcast episode recording. Frederica is at my mama's house for a week. I'm going to a conference in the morning. And she's there and I'm cool. Desmond walking around like my whole family's leaving me. He closed her door and everything, was like, I can't look in there. I'm like, that's so dramatic. He was like, I didn't even know you was leaving. I said, well, I wasn't supposed to leave because my doula client still hasn't had her baby yet. But my doula. So I was thinking about this.
Yeah, how does that
Everybody.
work?
So when you are wanting to go natural and like having home birth, they don't do inductions. And this home birth situations has really showed me how much induction is like truly a part of our like birth experience. Because when you do have a midwife and you do home births, they're perfectly okay with you going to like 42 weeks. And like letting the body and the baby say when it's
Wait, they're
time,
perfectly okay with what?
going to 42 weeks. So typically people have their babies around. So this is the pipeline. You have your baby at 40 weeks because that's when you're due. And doctors tend to induce you sometimes literally around their schedule, vacations and all the things, and holidays, et cetera, et
Wow.
cetera, and will induce you early at like 37, 38. At 38 weeks, you can technically give birth and the baby's fine. But when you have like a midwife and you want a home birth, they will just let you do your thing and let the baby do its thing. So, Frederica was 12 days over. This baby's like a week or so over, and
Oh man.
it's scary when you like have a mentality of like, oh, she should have been had the baby, when we're so used to things like induction and we're so used to babies being born right at 40 weeks or earlier. But that's because induction is like really kind of part of this medical system. And if I'm wrong, somebody will correct me, I'm sure. But they and then but you also have to think about like induction, pitocin, which is the medicine to
Right.
induce you. And then when the baby's like, I'm not ready, and your body's like, I'm tired, then that's what leads to C-section. And like that's the pipeline.
Hasn't given birth yet.
She hasn't given birth yet, but it's okay. Like I made the rookie mistake of like booking a conference the week after she was supposed to give birth. But to my credit, this is her second child, so I really thought she was going to be earlier on time. But I called, so this is what I was going to say. Everybody needs a mentor. So I called my midwife, who's her midwife, and my midwife was also a doula. And I was like, I think I made a rookie mistake. I have a conference to be at in the morning. And she's like, where's it at? And I was like, Columbus. And she was like, oh, it's only 2 hours away. It's okay. She's like, my doula mentor told me, don't run your life around being on call. Just do your thing. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to Columbus in the morning for my conference. I've already talked to my boss and everything about it. So if I have to leave the conference early, I just have to leave the conference early. But at least I'll be able to go and enjoy the conference, meet some people,
Absolutely.
et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I'm navigating right now, is
That's
still
so
being on call
exciting.
for a baby. I am excited to
Yeah.
experience it.
That's so,
I'm nervous.
2 thoughts that are just super random, but it like you just all the places we will go. You know the book of like because like you're a whole dude. That's so cool. Like and how miraculous and fun and I couldn't even imagine what that is to bring up like to be part of a birthing team, especially in such an intimate way like that. That's fire. Like
Yeah.
seriously. Oh my God.
Yeah. I
Um,
think everybody should get
but
doulas.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Here I go. I can't wait. No,
And
I can't. I really can't. Go ahead.
no, no, I understand. And you don't have to have a doula. You don't have to have a home birth to have a doula. So when somebody
Mhm.
asks me that, and people always ask me that, you have a doula and give birth in a hospital. The
Oh,
doula is
baby,
just there for
I would
support.
think that I would think the doula is needed more at the hospital with the
True
way that
that.
hospitals be trying. When my mama, it's so crazy. My mama told me her birth stories,
Mm.
particularly the one of my older brother. I was like, I just wanted to hug her. And then the thing is, for the sake of the internet, I'm not going to tell the gruesome story, but like, she was like, yeah. And then the doctor got me, and then the nurse, she got on top of me and started pushing my stomach down. She literally said she got on top of her,
Yeah.
booty in her face, and started pushing her stomach down. And she's, what? And again, I'm leaving out so much stuff. And she was like, mm-hmm. And then she was just casually talking about all this gruesome stuff. And I was like, Mommy, that's a
That's not
lawsuit. That,
okay.
that was a
That's
that
a
was a lawsuit.
lawsuit. Call the
That was
ethics
a
board,
law.
please.
But anyway, so yeah, no, you need to do more if you at the hospital. Like,
Yeah.
girl. Mm. But what do I know, girl? I'm sorry, I ain't had a kid. No, no, no.
No, you're a black woman and you know that the hospital is like treacherous for us giving birth. That's what you
Exactly.
know.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
Oh, what are you
Um,
navigating? Oh,
what am I
yeah.
navigating? No, no, no. I did want to say something about the Pitocin thing, but I forgot, so it's fine. Oh no, I do. I do. Um, right. Because you do hear
Pitocin is in everybody's birth story.
girl, I had one baby, but I'm like, I know that, I know this, I heard about this. Because I used to did y'all used to watch A Birth Story on TLC?
Yes, that was my favorite. Foreshadowing. So mad they
So
took
that's
that
how I
off.
learned about Pitocin.
Right.
I'm like, I used to be girl in the morning in my granny house with Cheerios. I'm like, why would they do that? Why would so now she can't have that natural birth like she wanted? You don't. Girl, I was 8. I was watching, and then I was, and then wait, when the baby was finna go, like the gruesome part, I would be like, but like I wanted to see it, but I couldn't. And I would be so happy, after the commercial, after she give birth, then they go to commercial, then they come back. And then you get to see them. You get to see them with their baby. It makes so, and you can see the nursery. I used to love A Birth Story. Oh my gosh. Anyway, what am I navigating? I'm navigating. Oh, well, I broke a nail today, really angrily.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's not, but it's because I just.
Are you
It's why you don't
okay?
get. I am, but I'm just saying, dip don't. Jail apparently prevents like all of the the bad things, but the dipping, right, because all of it is bad. One way or the other, we're gonna be demised. I mean,
None of this
we're gonna
lasts. None of it.
we're gonna meet
None of
our
it's
demise.
healthy. None of it lasts. It's all capitalism. Go get your nails done.
Absolutely. Go get your nails done, babe. But so she was like, "Oh, no more healthy." Oh my God, I cannot do that. I gotta edit that out. She was like, "More healthy." And so, but anyway, all that to say, they break so much easier, but whatever. So I'm angry about that. That's what I'm navigating. Yeah, that's it. I ain't got nothing. Life's good right now. Things are good. It's a summer. I'm
Good.
out of school.
Period. Traveling.
My man. Okay, what? No, so I'm good. Yeah, things are great.
Good.
Let's do a popcorn episode. I'm excited for this episode too, honestly.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
what we can talk about first? What's on the agenda as we navigate things that impact Black women, either socially, politically, economically, financially, spiritually, all
All
the
the
illies.
leads.
Yep.
Illies. Child. Do we want to just do the buzzy first to keep the people engaged? Do we want to
Yeah,
do
let's talk about the girl.
let's talk about her. Let's talk about her.
Okay, Raven, tell me your deepest, darkest thing, and I'll respond with Jesus. And
Wait,
when
I
I have the
didn't
solution,
why is you screaming Jesus in this girl face? When she
I'm trying to figure out how they still friends.
okay, okay. Well, let me take it a
Okay.
little bit left and then swing me back. Well,
Okay.
I'll swing myself back, but y'all gonna punch
'Cause I
me.
might
But it's
know where
okay
you're
'cause I'm
going.
already
Yeah.
because at first I wasn't. At first, as a girl who was deeply traumatized by people using and abusing me financially,
Mhm.
um, I was like, it's YouTube. I'll be wanting to curse. But anyway, as a girl, yeah, but no, in all seriousness, watching it initially, I was like, ma'am, ma'am, how dare you say that about your friend? Talking about I had to really protect, withhold my resentment toward you when I saw you doing for other people and not me. Because meanwhile, you saw my house going, or you saw me go. Essentially, she just went through the myriad of things that she was
Mhm.
going through financially, and in my brain, the way my brain worked. Again, I'm going to get to how I transformed, but the way that my brain works, long story short, is I am a giver. Again, which is why I've been financially abused, whatever, used, whatever, by people. And I actually love it. Like it brings me deep joy to give to people,
Mhm.
to my friends particularly. And I really do mean that. I'm not even saying that arrogantly. I love that. It gratifies me, but I like it to emanate from that place and not a place of
Mhm.
expectation.
Right.
So when yeah, stop it there. And if you we can do it segmented. So when I first heard it, I was like, baby, I if I gave to it, that's that's not how
Okay,
that
yeah.
works. That's
Yeah.
not how that works. But I can stop there first. Did any
No, I definitely resonate with that. Like, I don't wanna give out an obligation.
uh-huh.
But I think if I see someone struggling and I see
Yeah,
it now, if you was
yeah.
suffering in silence,
Right.
that's one thing. But if I see it, I think that would trigger me to do the thing
Yeah. Yeah.
and
That's
be a
true.
blessing versus like, okay, I'm giving my last dollar. You see me giving my last dollar.
Mhm.
Are you gonna do something? But I don't think that was a situation.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I heard more,
yeah,
that wasn't the situation. But on that note though, because this still is relevant to Black women before we get to it.
yeah, yeah.
This is still important to say though, because me and my
Mhm,
kids were just having this conversation about it's probably too personal to divulge, but like I've watched Black women harm themselves, get sick,
mhm,
and even die because they were overcome by the stressors of the people that they left behind post success, right? Or left
mhm.
behind because they really didn't. Stacey Abrams, I tell this example all the time. When Stacey Abrams in Atlanta was running for governor, in Georgia rather, because Atlanta ain't Georgia. It's not the Atlanta is Georgia. No, it's not. It's a whole place. It's a whole big place.
The
But no,
governors for the state.
right, right. She
I'm
was
not in
running for
politics, okay?
girl. Do I know it? I'm talking about when she was running for governor of Atlanta. That's not no. But when I think it had came out, which this was one of the things that harmed her. It's not the only thing. She owed like $150,000 in debt. Like she was $150,000 in debt beyond just school debt. It was just
Mhm,
general, and that was one of the things that Brian Kemp, her opponent at the time, was judging her on. And then she came out, and I think she did a whole op-ed piece about like, yeah, because Black women, we be praised for all of our degrees and our successes and our
mhm.
ambition and all this other stuff, but it's a whole lagging behind of people or people. It's a whole subgroup of people behind us that are in them
Yeah,
pockets, the need and it's not judgment of those people, but when you're just like in isolation, looking at the Black woman who is the arbiter of all the help.
mhm,
Woo, I get defensive. I get
yeah,
defensive real quick because I don't want to see Black women sick based off of stress. That's why the show Mary Jane Look Ever Again
yeah,
was the biggest ever because all the girls was like, tag, that's me,
yeah.
I don't know.
That was also in, um, Brittany Cooper's book as well, like, we have all these degrees and our net worth is 0 or negative because we are successful on paper and we have
Yep.
$0. And I literally know, but beyond you, like, even a, friend that I just met, and it's so crazy. Like, our stories are so universal, it's literally sickening.
Scary.
Like, where her and her husband had budgeted in households. Like, and it's like they're
Yep.
not even now they make some nice money, but they're not
Mhm.
well, shoot, I don't know if they millionaires, but like they not like
Just still, I get
they
it.
might be
You
millionaires. But
mhm.
anyway, the point is they not like famous or nothing like that. They're just regular people with good jobs,
Yes. Yes.
and they've taken on the burden of other homes. And that's what we do. And the reason why I text you and was like, okay, can we talk about stress? Because, or no, that I need to sit down because I was talking to Abby and I was like, I literally, it was like a wake up call, kind of. Not that anything serious is going on with me, but I've been moving so much that I've been in pain in like random parts of my legs and in my foot. And I'm like, I need to sit down because I know that Black women die
Yep.
from silent things like
Yes.
fibromyalgia,
Right.
and,
Right.
like, I don't want that to be my case, even though
Yep.
it's like that's I'm not being diagnosed with anything, but that was the first thought was in my head was like, "No, you need to sit down because we're not dying from from
No,
being
ma'am.
stressed out or moving
Yeah.
too much." Like,
Yeah.
you have community, use them, and, like, yeah, like, that's why I text you that, but it probably is not worth the whole episode, but I can weave that into this, is that,
Yeah.
yes, Black women are constantly the ones who are taking on the load, and I don't even take care of nobody but me, Frederica, and Desmond. Like, not
Uh-huh.
even like but
Uh,
so taking that, you're taking care of your household, and you add on another household, or you add on another family to feed, or another so I totally understand that angle. But
yeah.
go ahead
Yeah.
with your evolution on the
Yeah,
stress.
yeah, and so closing that for since I started it is so for me the way I heard it was like, watch your tone, mamas.
Mhm.
watch your tone. Watch your tone when you talk about my money. How you going
Right,
to
right, right,
resentment over me and my money? I don't care
right.
if I gave it to whatever.
Mhm.
Okay, you said you evolved. You said you evolved. Okay, so but the way I evolved was the second clip. Baby, that second clip came out again. Watch the whole podcast, Raven. I didn't because
No.
me and B Simone. Mm,
Yeah,
me and B Simone.
yeah.
But
I
anyway,
just saw another one before I got on here, and I was like, "What is wrong with this girl?"
me and B Simone.
But grace to the Black woman.
That's why I just said me and B Simone. You're not gonna hear me say nothing else. I just said me and B Simone. That's it. Take from that what you will. Nevertheless, the second one, baby, when she said, it's actually embarrassing to repeat. You probably, I don't know if you may have seen it. So, and the second one, she goes, the friend,
Mhm.
she was like, when I called you and told you that I had got this really great opportunity, you essentially responded and said,
Oh,
she
yeah.
said that, oh, you said, okay,
No, no,
B
keep going,
Simone.
though, keep going.
Okay. So the friend called B Simone and said, I got this great opportunity. This was post her going through all her struggles too,
Mhm.
right? So she's like, finally, I'm back up, baby. Da da da. Best friend, what's up? She said, B Simone goes, oh, let me call you back. Now, wait. Listen, audience. And then B Simone, she said B Simone calls her back immediately and was like, I just feel so convicted. I don't know where discontentment came from in that moment. And so then they, essentially
Mhm.
hashed it out in that moment. And then long story short, B Simone essentially was like, well, actually no, her friend was like, was it anger, was it
Mhm.
and then they got to jealousy. She was like, no, it's not jealousy, it's not anger, I'm not sad. But she was like, I can't necessarily say that I'm even completely happy because in part, and this was after she gave a whole bunch of words, but what she came to was, I feel like I like for us to come to things together. I want us to do things together. And I like to say, she literally said, now this is the part that I'm saying verbatim. She was like, I like to put my friends on. What? First of all, why would you put this on a record? Why would you say this out loud? I get that clickbait is a thing and everybody wanna, but like, be Simone, you not winning the social like the social favor right now. Like, and I mean in so many capacities. Girl, why you keep throwing fire on yourself like this? That sounded horrible, but I'm gonna stop there. Any thoughts there? Girl,
Yeah, I saw a comment that was like, she's literally the definition of like, you can you can be dope, like you can be good, but it's not better than me. And like
precisely.
it was get so the other clip of her saying like, I was in I had to go through um going through being on Medicaid and food stamps and all this and all that. Um, somebody was like, "This girl, B. Simone is gaslighting her." Like, I'm just like,
Jesus, Jesus. What?
and that's also like this. Then there was some spirit, like I think there's some spiritual stuff wrapped into that, and it's like you trying to make a, you trying to pull the testimony out of this, and it's like, um, there's a new trend where people are like, and who said that? And they like,
Absolutely.
so somebody was like, um, something about God showing you, but God was showing you that wasn't your friend.
Right.
Like you didn't
That's what
need
he
to
was
be
showing.
on, like you didn't need to be on food stamps. You didn't be on Medicaid. You didn't need to like have your dignity stripped. And that's not to say food stamps are being on
I know what you
Medicaid
mean now.
will strip your dignity. But if you felt embarrassed about that or whatever, like you didn't need to go through that. The Lord was showing you that girl wasn't your friend,
Precisely.
and
Precisely.
maybe she knows that, and she's just using that to get on as well.
Yeah,
But
could be.
I, I can't let my friends suffer. Like I've seen my friends suffer, and I also don't have it to give. So like, and I'll try to come up with a solution. I'll try
Mhm.
to do the thing. Um,
That's when you do them
but
wine nights. That's when you do them wine nights. Let's just come over and cry because that's all I got a glass
like,
of wine on me.
yeah, but no. And I totally
Mhm.
understand the argument of, but if it's, but also it's like, if you are going to be financially used and abused by somebody, can you at least be used and abused by the people that like have been through the struggle with you versus
Right.
like these new folks? I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
I don't know. So yeah,
Yeah.
I would feel some resentment towards my friend.
Mhm.
Again, not their responsibility, but if you
Yeah.
know I'm struggling
Right.
and I'm watching you give, and at Be Simone's success, if you writing checks to people, like, yeah, I would feel some way about it.
Yeah. So the other layer to that is B Simone did things, does things, and she's openly talked about this herself. So it's not that I'm like throwing dirt on her name for self-validation. And matter of fact, this last clip that brought about my evolution just further proved that more. She
Mhm.
had already said that in previous things that she's talked about publicly, but like this was just like, dang girl, you really not beating them allegations. All right. Like she does things for self-aggrandizement, right? And my granny used to always say self-aggrandizement, scandalize your name, baby. You bring about scandal to yourself
Mhm.
when which is exactly what's happening now, even though she's literally doing it to herself. But yeah, she does things for like the ego and validation. And the interesting thing is, really quick, I give her grace a bit
Mhm.
because I understand a bit where that comes from. It's actually crazy because like when she be talking, I do identify with a lot of the things. When I hear her speak long form, I do identify with so much of her sentiments and like her ambition and her eagerness toward like success and wanting to see difference. I identify with it, but you can just tell she's just so unpolished in so many ways. Oh, but I keep my ire down because I don't want to talk about a black woman. But anyway,
Yeah.
but she 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 went through a lot in her youth. And like her family dynamic is really kind of tattered and not the best, which thus made her super ambitious and also feel like a lot of her emotional and even financial needs weren't necessarily met. And people
Mhm.
like that, again, I can identify with that. When you go through that and you're like the daughter who like takes care of all the younger siblings and all the things,
Mhm.
it does give you a sense of like pride and like it's a gratification that you can't really articulate when you're able to help, when you're able to dish out and you're able to give back and you give out rather, and then you step back and you like that's me. And it's like not
Mhm.
but it's not, it don't automatically equate to arrogance. But if you're not careful, your whole identity, your whole public persona will be built off of what do I do? Look what all the things that I did. And
Yeah.
every action that you take within friendships, within in any capacity of a relationship that you have will be predicated on how else can I get this moment on me and how else can my ego feel bolstered even more. So I'm going to give, but you're not giving out of you're giving out of the fact that you want to feel the bigness of this moment and people looking at you and seeing, does that make sense?
No, it
Validating you.
does. Makes perfect sense. And I was also thinking about even the black woman being highly degreed, like,
Yeah.
and people having those crises after they
Mhm.
graduate, and it's like, "What the
Yeah.
heck do I do
Yep.
next?"
That's a good one.
Because
Yeah.
your identity has been, like, rooted in the doing,
Yep.
and, um yeah, it's been rooted in the doing, and then
Yeah.
you
Validate me.
value. Yeah, you say what?
Mhm. I was saying, yeah, like validate me. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think that's how it does relate to a lot of Black women, is the doing
Mhm.
part, and it's like,
Yep.
we have to find our value in our being and who we just period, and that's
Yeah.
it. Um, and that's my testimony of the year, is just being, so.
And it actually no, but it actually aligns perfectly with what you like where you initially said you wanted to talk about tonight because right. Find value in the being, and in the being, then you're just being a friend. And so when your
Mhm.
friend is in need, you get gratification in like, man, I love to see your stressors relieved.
Yeah.
Not relieved by me, but
Right.
relieved. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like you have to find ways to remove yourself. And I'm not gonna lie, BB, sister, and everybody else who this applies to. Cause again, I didn't well, that's another conversation. But anyway, you have to actually, I say this to my clients all the time. It's a philosophical shift that's required. And what I mean by that is you got to shift how you see people and how like everybody has inherent value. We say that here. All that's like the politic of this podcast. Everybody here has inherent. Everybody here, meaning on the planet, has inherent value. And so, because of that, whether you got $1 million or $0, I can engage and contend with you because you have something to offer me and bring to me and to enrich my life, and
Right.
vice versa. Just because I have more money, don't mean I have more to enrich your life with, right? And that's a politic that you have to adopt, and how that applies to be Simone, at least in my view, is is when you remove yourself from this, how can I make myself feel validated? And let me find somebody lesser. Let me find somebody lesser that I can now that needs me so that I can raise myself up and make myself feel big. No, no, you just find people. And when people are blessed, you feel good. And when people are down, you want to help just because you love people so much and you see the value in people so much, not for anything interpersonal. But that would require you have to make your life less about you philosophically, not through
Mhm.
money. It bleeds out in money sometimes, but then it'll also bleed out in if you just needed me to sit with you for 24 hours, I'll cancel it. You know, like it'll bleed out
Mhm.
in different ways. But when it's about you, it'll always be like, yeah, I gave it to her yesterday, but I'm not giving it to you today because I'm stressed. It's like, no, either your politic is your politic or it's not.
Right.
And then you does that make sense? I know it was a lot, but yeah.
And I think another way to think about it is like also like you're blessed to be a blessing. So I understand the idea of like you feeling like that gratification of like, oh my gosh, I was able to do. And it's like I think the part of the when I've gone through this is like removing the ego of like that was something that I had. No, that was something I was blessed with.
That's
And then
good.
also like also realizing that I'm blessed because of certain privileges that I have. So, and I
Uh-huh.
think a lot of Black women probably do realize that, and they want to give from their place of of privilege. Um, but sometimes it is to a detriment. But it's also,
Yes.
I think that's the politic, is like at some point we probably like, but Brittany Cooper, these degrees don't mean jack. I was picked for this road. I was not.
Yep.
I didn't do anything special. I was just the one that
Yep.
was picked. And
Yep.
when you probably are walking around with that survivor's remorse of I was the one that was chosen,
Mm-hmm.
you
Oof.
are constantly like trying to pay off your debt,
Yep.
in a way. So I think I can see the side of, come on, nuance. I can see the side of wanting to not be used
Yep.
on this. I can also see the side of like you need to help your friend.
Absolutely.
Um, and then, or not need to, but it would be nice for you to help your friend.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and there was another side I saw, but yeah, so I
But
think that,
I think you just laid out the 2 though.
yeah.
So you feel that you can understand why there will be trepidation there, like, because of the difficulty of the position that Black women have been put into as far as the
Mhm.
successful and then the payment and that now you gotta be the payer or whatever. And then you're also saying, but also you are blessed to be a blessing, and that is the politic of Black women in general, right? That's why Brittany Cooper shared our stuff. That's why all the
Right.
Black women who we've tagged are you know, engaging, loving, and pouring back support, even though they are like leaps and bounds larger than us, because it is a Black woman ethic to be shared, to engage in shared community and shared resources. That is typical for who we are. And honestly, so that is the nuance. And then I think I can cut right through the middle with what the answer is and how to like bridge that gap. Really, 30 did it for me. I'm not gonna lie, 30 has really grounded my thoughts. We gotta talk about that one day. But um develop your convictions, your
Mhm.
hard yeses and your hard nos. We may have said this already, but this is applicable everywhere. Seriously. Like one of the ones that I've been kind of trying to try out now is like there is a limit on my giving a month,
Mhm.
right? Like whether it be my family, whatever. And I'm just throwing out a number. Okay, $2,000. That's not. I don't got $2,000. Don't let. I'm just throwing out a number. But what I'm saying is like allocate. No, I know every month my family probably going blah 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 blah. So $2,000 a month I've done, and
Mhm.
then once that 2,000 has all the guilt that may come if somebody say I just need
Right.
2002. No, you have to teach yourself just the same as we got to discipline ourselves to work out and all the things that we have to do to finish these degrees. Similarly, it's the same thing. Your benevolence, your gifting has to have a boundary, just the same as you have to have boundaries in every relationship. So
Yeah.
develop your convictions and your hard no's and yeses, period.
I was also gonna say because there was a comment like this too that was like, you might not have had it to give or you might not have wanted to give, but could she not have stayed with you? Like, could
Right.
she not have you know what I mean? So I think also it's like, okay, there can be conversations around money. There can be conversations where it's like, I got you this time, but
Mhm.
I can't get you the next time.
Yep.
Or I got you this time, and what can we do together to help you not be in the situation again? And that's the whole I can teach a man how to fish, and he'll eat for
Mhm,
life,
mhm,
So
mhm.
there can be those conversations, and I think that's a
Yep.
part of the privilege of becoming more financially
Yep.
responsible or aware or
Yep.
whatever is and I'm literally only talking about finances because we talking about finances, but
Right.
when you reach a different like mentality around anything, it's like when you learned how to get there, college.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
how did you get through college? I can give you all the tips to get through college. Like, and I
Mhm.
don't have to give you a single dollar, but I learned
Yep.
some things and I can teach you. So those can be conversations that you have with
Yes.
the people that are maybe asking you for money or asking you for
Yep.
advice. And it's like, okay, you keep asking me the same question.
Mhm. What's up?
What do we need to do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Learning the difference between that is so important
Mhm.
because because it is a difference, and I can speak to this personally. It's a difference from shoot, you just need a quick look through 200 to get you to the next because the electric bill was just a little bit more than you expected this
Right.
month versus electric, gas, car note, the kids, da, da, da. Something's off in that equation.
Right.
And I'm not giving into a broken equation because now I'm wasting my money and yours. Like
Mhm.
that's not gonna it's almost like throwing money in a hole. How about I help
Mhm.
you patch up a hole?
Right.
Patch the hole. Girl, stop putting this raggedy nail. How about I help you patch the hole or go patch the and then we can talk because
Right.
that would be more beneficial and effective than just throwing money in a in a basin with a hole in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah. And I think also related but unrelated, I've been thinking about this that a little bit since I moved into this house that like what do you do when you move classes? Like
Let's just get out of here. I'm gonna just get out of here.
like, like I already knew I was in like a different thought class, right? Like
This girl,
like
she want to hold on back. I'm one of y'all. I'm one of
like I've
y'all.
already evolved in thought and my degrees have given me a certain privilege. And again, that's so crazy. You the only way we probably like some of us are gonna move out of the class that we're in, whatever class you in, is literally a hand up and a handout. Like
100%. 100%.
so like again, I wouldn't me and Desmond would not have been in this position if we were paying rent. So we were paying minimal rent living with somebody And it's like, if you wanna get out of the class or you wanna get out of the situation that you might have to take a step back. But anywho, whatever.
Yeah, it's real.
How do like like, when I was doing Hustle Different, for audience who don't know me, I used
Mhm.
to have a business called Hustle Different, completely, opposite of who I am right now, because hustle culture is not who I am, even though it is, but it's not who I wanna be. Like, anymore. Like, I wanna sit down, like, we're talking about this. I want to sit down, I want to not hustle, I want to rest, I want to resist, I wanna do all the things. Um, but one of the hats I made says, "My children will not live in poverty." And I highly doubt Frederica will live in poverty. Like, unless something just tragic happens.
She won't.
But,
She won't.
um, like, I'm grabbing, literally to the point where it's like my mother. I do not recall my mother. She did cook me breakfast, but I cook breakfast every day, and like that was not something. My mama did not cook me breakfast every day before school, and I like because I was watching Forever too, Forever also, and on Netflix, and they was eating breakfast before they went to school. And I was in Desmond's cousins that we live with ate breakfast before they go to school. I grew up on free lunch. So I went
Mhm.
to school in enough time to get breakfast. And I'm just like, this is a whole new world.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
No,
my
no, no, no. I
side.
yeah, I
Oh.
appreciate that because and you know what's eerie about it is that so the only thing that the world prepares you to do, especially Western world, is get there. And
Mhm.
when I say prepares you, I just mean like it gives you the vigor, the ruthlessness, that is
Mhm.
required in order for you to thrive in a capitalist society. And like free market kind of a culture. And so it gives you the ruthlessness, right? And so when we
Mhm.
know that, you going straight to school? Yeah, I'm going straight because I got to just knock it out, knock it out, knock it out, knock it out, knock it out. Um, you working a job and you still applying for different jobs and just still competitiveness and all of the things to thrive in corporate spaces and capitalist spaces. We have those tools, relatively speaking. Um, and even more so because they bled over into our families because our families are victims of all of this too. So everybody is just hustle, hustle, fast, fast
Right.
pace. You know what I mean? It's just chaotic. Okay. Anyway, but saying that to say, um, so you get to the spaces that vigor takes you to,
Mhm.
but then you get there with those tools. Like
Right.
it's like, and then it's like, okay, now for time for the new toolbox on how to be there and how to exist there. But it's like, no, all I know is being ruthless and grinding and how do I actually have joy in a space where I'm not tripping off of money because all I know is get it and like be obsessed with it and be consumed by it because at any moment it could leave. Like I guess all that I'm getting at is that the mentality shift that it requires, you really don't really get prepared for because you spent the last X amount of years with the bites and the grit and
Right.
you get what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
I
yeah,
I was definitely thinking what's next as
yeah,
soon as we got
yeah.
here. And I'm like, and at the signing table, Desmond was like, "Okay, what's our next property?" And I'm like, "Can we
Wow.
get in there, like, in the
Mhm.
house?" But I think when I'm thinking what's next is, like, because I'm always thinking about the next step, like,
Yeah,
I've not lived in a permanent I haven't lived in a home
yeah.
for more than a few years since I've been in Louisville. So, like, I'm working on kinda being still, like,
Yes. No,
I
yes,
even, like,
yes.
with the idea of us having, multiple properties, I was like, I would kinda like this home to be our home because 'cause I'm tired of moving. Like, I'm
Mhm.
tired, it's stressful, like, I'm tired of
Yeah.
moving.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, me too.
but yeah, like, uh, I don't know, I think it's also, like, the maintenance of it all, and I think that's probably the why I'm over here in pain too, 'cause the silent stress of, like, making sure, like, we build our savings back up to make sure if something breaks down or something, like,
Yeah.
the maintain, because it's like we just worked so hard to
Mhm.
get here, and like we was talking about, I was talking to this girl about like the furnishing of the home, like
Girl,
we just trying to get to the house, like
girl. And then multiple rooms.
Right.
No, you know what's crazy? Because that is, I mean, it's a whole bunch of reasons why I still haven't bought a house. But yeah, that is definitely on that list. And it might be high up. Sometimes I'll be like, because when I be decorating my little apartments, I'll be like living room, a little cute little kitchen set, and then a little shelf for the bathroom, but that's it. And then a little bit.
That's it.
Girl, and I'll be thinking like, I'm having guests come in. Okay. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a guest room and I'll be like, and I'm like, oh no. Wait, I gotta get multiple decor for
Multiple rooms.
multiple.
And then, like, I'm over here stressed about, like, how are all the colors gonna be cohesive to each other. And then you don't in your home, you might not want the little bitty, like, cutesy
Oh
furniture.
yeah.
You might want
Oh, I know
some
what you're saying. Uh-huh.
sturdy, okay?
Uh-huh. That's why I said last week when we were kidding about it. That's why I said I was like, "Y'all, let's make her an IKEA list." And that's why I paused. I was like, "Well, it's a house, so she might not want to do a little IKEA. She might want to do a little, Actually, it's custom. It's tree and oak. It's a store out in New York. You wouldn't know it, like But no, on that though, it's funny you say that because I'm not playing. So I know I've been keying a lot about not being in class this summer, and every single day of the week, I'm not kidding, I have a thought about, like, "What's next? What's next? What's next? And what should I be doing? What should I be doing?" But and even right now, you and I talked about it, Morgan, how my clients are kind of dwindled right now because it's summertime, and summer is just a slow time for therapists. People get depressed in the winter, and so
Right.
it's a little bit slower, and I don't see kids, and so it makes it even slower because that's typically who when the population is the highest. But anyway, um, and I've been actively having to and it's working, to be fair, tell myself, "No, ma'am. You have 2 degrees, like,
Mhm,
as
mhm.
it stands.
As it
You have."
stands.
Yeah, right, right. There I go. As it stands, not too much because I'm almost okay, like, no. But no, like, rest. Feel and not even like, I'm not even talking about sleep. I mean, I know you know that I'm not talking about sleep, but I mean,
Mhm.
I've been
Heal.
telling myself and it's working actually a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't It's okay. You're making an impact in the world. Are you some famous influencer or therapist right now? No. Could that potentially be in the future? Yeah, perhaps. And also though, what I have and what I've accomplished in this space is goodness, is good. And
Mhm.
so, cause what I be actually, no, last thing for real. When I was on plane today, I had saw 2 clients before I left. And I started feeling guilt. I was like, "Why am I at the airport on Monday?" Like, I literally started feeling I was like, "I should be," and I was like, "You should be what? You're mad that you worked yourself into a career where I
Li
do what I want
Oh
to
my
do."
gosh.
Like like, here I go. Salute. Like, what do you want it to be? Ho? I'm just just
How was you stupid?
how it's just no, but it sounds funny, but like I'm serious. I was in Starbucks at the airport and I was like, because I was like, what day is? I was like, it's Monday. It's and I'm about to fly to do nothing, to go and do more nothing. Like,
No, that's real because I'm at a job where her politic is in liberation, rest,
yes.
joy, black liberate like, and
Mhm.
I'm constantly having to reframe my mind around, like, even just being able to work when I want to work.
Yeah.
And it's like you have a job where you can have your child around you and they not care.
Mm.
I care
No.
because I'm just like,
Mhm.
the shoe is going to drop and
Mhm.
they're gonna be like, "Can you please get her out the camera?" Like,
Mhm.
and so it's like me in this mentality of America and capitalism and corporate and not even corporate, well, higher education is kind of corporate and
Mhm.
professional versus personal. And it's like, no, all the things
All of it.
flow.
All of all of it.
And I think that's part of my stress. Like literally when I took oh my gosh, I took a shower before the podcast because I'm going straight to bed after this. And like I was literally like, I'm so type A and so routine that like no, my days don't look the same. And I'm like, that's causing me stress. Like,
Mhm.
but it's like your days don't look the same because your days don't have to look the same. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Aw.
not a productivity at the end of it that's like it has to look like this. And like if you
Mhm.
had a 9 to 5, yes, your life would be
Mhm.
contingent on you getting up every single day at the same time, going to bed at the
Mhm.
same time. I don't know if contingent is the right word, but
No,
like
it is. Mhm.
your
Mhm.
life would be you would have the way you survive is to be regimented, and you're literally given the grace and the space to be unregimented.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling with that. And I literally in the
Mhm.
shower, I was like, I think what I need to do is have my time that looks the same every day to just
Yeah.
have me feel good and be okay with like, because when I talked to Chelsea, who we had on the podcast, and she was like, "We love a ritual, like even if it's making your coffee every morning, like." And when I'm able to get up before Frederica and make my coffee, I'm like, "It's gonna be a good day." But if I
Mhm.
don't have that alone
Mhm.
time, I'm like, I feel discombobulated, et cetera, et cetera. But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
think like working that into the conversation about class and all the things like when you've worked yourself out of jobs or worked yourself
Yeah.
out of a
Woo!
class that is kind of like
Yeah, that's good.
you're not just salary and you can, salary and they work you to death on this minimal salary, right? But
Yeah.
salary and you feel you have the ability to rest in the midst of work, or you've worked yourself into a job that really aligns with your values, or and I do feel guilty about it. Like, I
Man.
feel, I mean, I always feel a little remorse, survivor's remorse around for survivor's guilt or whatever it is. But like, yeah, like, and I think this has to do with the class too. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
I'm leisure. Like, when I didn't
Mhm.
work, when I first had night, when I was about to prepare to have Nyla, I was off for FMLA, and I was like, oh, I like this, but that's a different class. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like,
It is.
poor people don't have
No, it
the
is.
luxury of not working. Like, poor people don't
No.
have the luxury of just working when they want to work. Like,
No, and so this is the thing on that, because I'm so tethered to, or at least I try to be, to the understanding about economics and like where people are and how where the economy is and how it's impacting people's wallets and all of that. I really am try to keep myself tethered to that and the real life consequences of it. So much so that sometimes I think I be thinking I'm a little too down. And like I get around people that don't live like I live,
mhm,
and then I be awakened.
awaken.
And and I'm like, oh, and I be feeling bad. Anyway, so to attest to what you're saying, like whatever, it's our podcast. I don't care. I'm done with all that. Oh, I'm gonna edit this out. No, this is true. It's real talk. It really is. I'll be like, oh, let's go to fill in the
Right,
blank.
right,
Just
right,
you
right.
know, there are moments where I'm like, should I be doing that? No, but like, can I do it? Yeah. Like it's never a day I can't go and get some food that I want. Never,
Right,
never,
right.
never. And like, and again, I'm only saying it that emphatically because I d- I still have, so my mentality still hasn't caught up with that reality, my reality.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know what I'm saying? And so but then it's kinda weird because then I'll get around people that can't do that, and then I'll start getting sad, and that's when it'll sober me up. I'm like, "Oh, this isn't normal, and dang it, I feel horrible. Shoot." And I'm always still waiting on that shoe to drop, like you said, and I'm always still waiting. I don't even know if any of that made sense, but I'm still always waiting on that ball to drop, and every single day I be feeling like I need to get up and do more because, "Girl, what is you doing? You wasting your time. No, you literally spent 8 years. I was in school for 8
Right.
years, and then actually took 3 years to get a license. 8 plus 3, carry the 1, no, 11 years. It took me 11 years to become a professional, 11
Right.
years.
Mhm, mhm.
Literally, like, I be but because Black women just be eating degrees, like, I'm not getting it almost kinda like and because we did it, like, sequentially, relatively,
Mhm,
and we still so young and like it do feel unfair because we're so adjacent to
mhm.
black people yeah, girl, sorry.
Listen,
Every time
when you talk about you can go get whatever you wanna eat, like, just moving classes and realizing, like, what you wanna eat on a going out to eat day is
Mhm.
for me now was like tax time
Yeah.
food.
Yes.
Like, and like Desmond makes fun of my family so much, and I'm gonna call him out on this podcast. I don't care because when it's a big event, first of all, it's 50, 11 of us. Like graduation. He's like, "Why we gotta go to Shoney's?" I'm like, do I wanna go to Shoney's? No. But also, are we gonna go to Shoney's and enjoy the Shoney's? Absolutely. And you're not gonna
Absolutely.
complain about it because
Absolutely.
are you gonna pay for,
Right.
20 people at the,
Right.
what restaurant? At the Capitol Grill or the,
Right.
Even at the Texas Roadhouse? Are
Right,
you gonna
right,
do
right,
that?
right.
No. We're
Mhm.
gonna go to the Shoney's
Gotta go to
where
Shawnee's.
everybody
Keep it
can
look 2 for
partially
20.
afford, right? And we're gonna be
Mhm.
okay. Like,
Mhm.
but just think like even like when you like the going out to eat thing, like paella? What is a paella? But that's where we go. Girl, our going out to eat when we was young was Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. Like,
Absolutely.
anywho.
Yeah, and how
Um,
do you do it? And how do you do
yeah,
this? Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I think if we had to put a pin on it, it would just be for me anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts
Mhm,
here, but for me, I feel like it's just actually, Imma say what I say to myself every day or have been, and I mean this
mhm.
week, today. Girl, live.
Right.
Which, yo, it took you 11 years to get here. Cause then
Mhm.
we always, at least I know, I be saying this all the time, y'all don't know, y'all don't forget where I don't. Oh, you don't forget. Oh, this just, I'm glad you brought this give me chills because you don't forget, girl. I worked Ross. Don't get me to going. I worked all of the jobs. I did all the punching in the clocks, dropping pizzas, girl, busting my fingers trying to work at some bridal shop. You don't forget, ma'am. Enjoy your girl. If you could sleep a whole week, so what? That you did what was necessary. The white people
Right.
said that this is what you got to do to succeed in America.
And you
You
did
did
it
it,
and you
and
done
now
it.
enjoy. Sorry
Right.
that they didn't, and
Right.
now that's where I get a little because we
Because
love, but
the privilege of like that's what I'm like. I kind of be like, I can never say like sorry they didn't make it because of all the things that Black people go through. And it's like,
right,
yes, people do squander dreams and like squander their opportunities, squander opportunities.
yeah,
But I just can't like separate the mind of are they addicts because they just wanted to be
right,
addicts
right.
or are
Of
they
course
addicts
not.
because literally
Right.
they was talked to crazy all day long at work and
Mhm.
they don't have any other choice like to but for the jobs they had or whatever
Yeah.
like
Yeah, no,
I
you're right. Life be lifing. Mhm. Mhm.
the separation it kills me.
Mhm.
So that bringing it back to B Simone and bringing it back to
Mhm.
Black women who are
Mhm.
constantly giving, I resonate because you are. I think a lot of us feel a level of guilt um
Mhm.
when when you want to be able to provide for people who don't have or but but what you were also saying is just enjoy
Just
and
enjoy it.
enjoy. Like you can oh, that actually goes right into the conversation about the video I sent you. You can enjoy like the life you want to create and still be there for people and
Absolutely.
not make that be the factor of like how am I going to be used or how am I anticipating the need, right? You don't
Mhm.
have to anticipate the need of people to
Yep.
to and that hinder your life or your
Mm.
goals or your
Absolutely.
desires, and I do think Black women do that.
Absolutely. 100%. Here's my takeaway from all of this. Make peace with the fact that oh, yes. We talk a lot about history on this episode. I mean, on this podcast, obviously, because the history of Black people and Black women particularly is such that it is. We can't change it. It sucks. It's horrible. It makes us sick to our stomach. We wish that things were different. And actively every day in our own respective corners of the world, we should, if you ain't, feel conviction, but we should be doing what we can do to mitigate harm, to fix ill, to right wrongs, so on and so forth. And after that, Puka, rest.
Mhm.
What you gonna do? Like, I cry every episode, so it's okay. Just probably be another one. I was thinking about this yesterday. Like my mama, my sisters, my everybody I love don't got a lot, be struggling a lot. And And not even just financially, I think the because they struggle financially, it emanates in all the other spaces of
Mhm.
their lives. Like
Right.
they don't live in the best neighborhood, and so now the son is getting somebody's getting bullied because they live in a real bad around real bad influences. Like it
Mhm.
just is. It's like
Mhm.
so many things that stem from they don't have a whole bunch, and so
Right.
that thus also their perspective ain't as evolved, and so they haven't experienced some of the more evolved things that make you more of a well-rounded person in a culture. Like it's so many layers to it, and when I go
Mhm.
around them
Mhm.
and a lot of people that I love, that's what I feel. And I feel the complexities and the guilt, like you talked about. And also, what you gonna do about all that? Like I'm not kidding. I had this conversation yesterday. You gonna fix all of that? You gonna do something about your little $200, your little emptying out your savings because somebody, because Remy got locked up and he just need Pookie. You gonna fix all of that? And that goes back to what I was saying earlier about you putting money in a basket with a hole in it, boo.
Right. Mm.
Let's get people in a trade. Let's help people to get in a trade. And if they not really showing any promise or real seriousness, let's take their hand at the family reunion and laugh and dance with them and let's go home.
Mhm.
You can't do nothing about that. That hurts. Like let's just like take a collectively because that does hurt.
Yeah.
And these are the people you came up with, you laughed with, you kicked it with, you. These are your folks. You want them to commune with you in these high spaces, high, but
Right.
also you it ain't a dollar amount that can take a mentality from the hood into the higher. I don't. Sorry, I find better language, but I hope you
Yeah.
hear my heart here. It ain't a dollar amount that can take people from that space because if you take them there, then they'll just keep needing to live off of you. You can't
Right.
vicariously live through somebody with money.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
anyway, sorry. My final thought there is and I really do mean that. I'm sorry, boo. But you and your girls go enjoy that trip. And every now and then you're gonna get that text and it's gonna make you cry and sad. But then you tuck it away and you get lit and you turn around and you just make peace with the fact that here comes Jesus. We live in a post-Eden world. There is no way to do family, do life, do relationships, do motherhood, do wifehood, nothing perfectly. But we reckon with what we got and we bring the joy and the beauty and see the beauty in what we got. So yeah.
Yeah. We wasn't supposed to spend this whole evening on
We
B
wasn't
Simone,
be Simone. But
but I
that
do want to get to at least the one you said.
oh
We
yeah,
can
yeah, we can. We can. Yeah, absolutely,
um
absolutely.
go ahead and present that one.
Present it. Okay. And also too, I can edit some of it too so it don't be too long. But
No, it's cool. They can
um
listen to us chit chat. Yeah.
I can because this is how we get into our yeah. But so I'm gonna put a little scratch here. Um girl. So I was watching Shan Booty's podcast. Shout out to Shan Booty. I don't really
Mhm.
watch her podcast, but I saw a clip of her podcast. She was interviewing Duckworth, whoever that is.
Oh
Apparently he's like
yeah.
some I'm not a young girl. And
I don't know who
anyway,
he is, but I just remember what we was talking about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that what you were saying you wanted to bring up, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And so anyway, long story short, the episode is called Why He Won't Ever Commit to You, something like that. And it was like
Mhm.
F Boy Chronicles or something. He was just essentially talking about his guilt in being an F boy for so long and coming out of it and what it all meant and what he's learned from that time and all of that. And within that episode, he was dropping a lot of gems about the toxic nature of F boys and why they do what they do and how they do it. And then
Mhm.
she also shared a clip within the episode of Mario, the singer. Baby, you should let me love you. That them.
Him. Circa 2000s.
Circus.
That Mario.
That Mario, because sometimes he calls
Mario.
himself Mario. So she interviewed him as well. She inserted a clip from that previous interview of
Mhm.
him saying he was also a F boy and did F boy things. Well, actually, no, he would reel women in because they talked about how it would happen, and this is some of the ways that it would happen. Reel women in, even women that he was just casually having sex with, that they were also equally in agreement that this is just a casual sexual relationship. He said he would purposefully convince them that it's not casual for me. I love you.
Mhm.
I want this. I see a future, to the degree that they would be like, whoa, okay, well, let me switch my perspective about this because wow, you're really okay. And only to have him the woman, be emotionally dependent on him, all into him, enamored, all of the things, and then for him to go ghost or drop her or short text and just do all the things that will essentially crush her. And then final thought, he gave the reason why he would do that was because he internally wanted to see the feminine suffer, because the feminine was representative of his mom. And so he said he would oh, actually I didn't tell you this part, but he said he was like, I would literally watch girls like boo-hoo cry and like pouring out their heart, like, why are you treating me this way? And he said would feel nothing. He said I would feel nothing. Again, these people put this stuff on record. I just
On record.
don't. Woo! I go, woo! Baby,
I
I
can never.
don't. He said he was they were just, and I would be no, yeah. I was like, so anyway. But yeah, so you wanted to say something to that too.
Yeah, because it brings up for me how many times Black women are marketed as you need to
Mhm.
be aware of all the red flags. And you got people, and this is not to bash the man at all. You got people literally out here being purposefully trash. Like, and I got my mind was expanded when this girl Jasmine Garden 23 on TikTok, she said, yes, he whoever he is, his tendencies might be narcissistic, X, Y, and Z, insert word, but was that just how he was taught to love? And I was just like, okay, I get that because you might have a desire to not be this way, but you have watched mama, uncle, daddy, cousin love bomb or do X, Y, and Z to get a woman, and it's like, or get a man, and it's like, this all I know, right? But
Yep.
when you see somebody saying, I purposely did this, like, there's no because the marketing to Black women about dating is literally an industry, and
Mhm.
to have
So
someone
true.
admit
Mm.
that they are purposely an F boy, you can't. And I'm sure positive he's not the only person.
Oh, of
So
course.
to have
Yeah.
him admit that, um, it's evidence to say, like, I couldn't have prevented falling in love with this man. Like, no, he literally tried to make me fall in love with him, and I did,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Yeah. He talked
Yeah.
look. No, you're so right, and this is the part. The reason why, I mean, it stuck out to me for obvious reasons, everything I just
Mhm.
shared, but it's still so cutting, was because he mentioned one part that I just vividly remember, one of my first experiences with a F-boy and what he did to me. He mentioned how they would actively be like, I'm leaving. No, like I can't take it no more. And then that's when they would turn up the love and the
Mm.
affection and but meanwhile, while you were actively withdrawing it, not giving it, being mean, all of the things. But then when I'm about to leave, which Beyonce said it, you only want me when I'm not there.
Mhm.
Because you know why he only wants you when you're not there? Because it's not about you.
Right.
It's not about because his property, and I'm not calling you his property, but his mentality, his property is walking away.
Right.
And have you ever watched your car drive away? You think you'll just quietly?
You
You
are
think you'll
mine
just
until I say you're done with me. I mean, I'm done with you. Yeah.
you just quietly will let somebody take your house, your car?
Right.
That's so he don't want you. He want his idea of my thing. Hey, get back here. But anyway, yeah, no, like I think about all the times that, would like, I would be, I would meet somebody else. I would go on a date, literally would find me on dates. How? And it wasn't like, sometimes girls do be like, oh, texting, leave me alone. I'm finally done. But no, you really still, no,
Mhm.
he would search the city for forever and find me
Wow.
out. Like, yeah, I really have been abused. But anyway, like, cause when I tell these stories now that I'm aware, that's abuse. I used to just be like, "Girl, he crazy." Oh
Flag
my
on the
gosh.
play. No, he
But
was crazy.
he was legitimate. Yeah, but I just used to kind of like,
Yeah,
girl,
no,
he's
no.
dumb. He's dumb. And then the dude would be, I'm like, don't worry about him. Ma'am, he just found us. He's just
No, because I don't have my gun on me. What are you talking about? Like, I thought I
I
was going
brought
on a regular
flowers.
date. Like,
I brought flowers, not an AKA. I mean, not an AK.
Okay.
It clearly shows I'm not a gun girl at all. So I'm not an AKA girl. What? Ski weed? What? But no, yes, like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he would reel you. Uh, Girl, one time I was out on actually one of the nights he found me, and that was actually when we was into girl. But girl, it's true story, true story. This is a true story. The same night, uh, in my house. I come back to my house, it was like because I used to drink water bottles and stuff. We don't drink water bottles now because plastic. But so he had he set them all up in a heart with a poster board. No, this is a true story. It's a true story. And then on the poster board is like, "I love you forever." You the blah, blah, blah. Some.
He
Mind you,
came
it
into
was
your house while you weren't there. Did he have a key?
yep. And it was like all these. Now, mind you, we weren't in a relationship, but again, he just would. We weren't in a relation. You know how it's like that ain't my man, but that's my man. How's I watch my man? You know.
Mhm.
It was like that. Like he shelved me. Oh, I want to have like I need to sow my water. That he didn't say that, but I need
Mm.
to do this. But he shelved me, and
Mm.
I'm praying, but whatever. So he knew that was the case. But then I was starting to slowly seep away. I went on dates, whatever, and then that was when all the love bombing. Not I'ma be with you, just love bombing. Because
Right.
my request was, can we finally be back together? No,
Yeah.
so it was none of that, but it was the love bombing. And so anyway, yeah, but mind you, just the same person. Didn't want to be with me. Left me alone. I wrote this in my book, so I don't care about standing out. Left me alone in an abortion clinic. Like, girl, if you don't go on that rest, that's it, going back to what we said.
Enjoy
Enjoy
the
that
fruits.
rest,
You have
daughter.
done all the things. You
You've
have
done the
reaped. Like
thing.
you
You
have
have.
sowed. Enjoy the good man, please. Enjoy
Why
the
are you
good
searching for
job.
struggle? Why are you searching for struggle? But anyway, yeah, yeah. So yeah, but gaslight, you will really be, and let the church tell it. You've been praying for him or whatever. And that was at that time because I'm not saying the church do that now. I don't know what y'all churches be doing because I don't be there. Okay.
I don't either, but some of them still be doing the same things. It's 2025, yo.
honey, honey, the joy of the Lord is my strength. Okay. But yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, that was really out. I'm glad you brought that out of that because yeah,
Yeah.
they will tell you to chew all kind of wrong. And girl, these men, ma'am,
Yeah. No. Um, we really do have to have a dating conversation, and I would love for that to
yes,
be very interactive. Like,
we
write
should.
in, like,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on X, Y, and Z? Like, what are your
Yeah,
if you're
make the
listening out
plea so
there,
you can clip it. Yeah, yeah,
like,
make a clip right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
okay, and like Black women dating, period. Like Black women in dating. Why are we? What are your questions that you would like us to talk about? That's my favorite topic to talk about. So, because I genuinely want us all to find the love we want to find,
Yeah.
whether that's you being in a monogamous relationship, an open relationship, a poly relationship, a um, shoot, I don't know. Just want it to be. I just want it to be whatever love you want to find for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, write in. Talk to us about the things. Um,
About dating in general too, I think.
yeah.
Let's just talk about because you're
Oh,
right.
we need some
So
advice.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, advice is cute. Oh yes. We should do like a advice corner
Oh,
because we do got
cutesy.
thoughts. That'll be fun and it'd be fun. But yeah, let's next episode. Let's just set it. Let's next episode. Let's talk through it and see what we can pull from people.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like that.
So I guess we're moving on to our book suggestion for the week. Feels so unsmart because I have no books.
Me neither. Hold on. But what did we talk about? Because hold on, women, money, giving.
No. There's a friendship book that just came out that I haven't read that's been going viral. It's a Black woman wrote about friendship. Thinking about B. Simone and that actually might need to be on the book list to read. Like,
Yeah. Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe. So maybe with this week we could do some different thing. Yeah, right. Like and do we should read. We should all read this week. Is it written by a Black woman?
yeah, and come back and be like, yeah, and we should all do a book report.
Get
In a
that.
month,
What is it? I don't
in
know.
about
What
a
is it?
month. Let's see, friendship. I sent you a video about her, and you was like, I think it was the same person who somebody sent me something. It's called Fighting for Our
Oh,
Friendship.
I know exactly the video you're talking about. Then, yeah, because my friend Evelyn sent me that because I remember
Yeah.
that text. Yeah, she wrote a book.
Yeah, it's called yeah, she's been on her press tour, Fighting for Our Friendship: The Science and Art of Conflict and Connection in Women's Relationship by Danielle Bayard Jackson.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, the clips from that. Actually, I watched most of the episode, and that episode was good. I forget what show it was on though.
she was making her rounds, girl.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. That's true. Who's? Oh, I think it was Megan Ashley.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, let's. Yeah, matter of fact, that'd be good. I'll
I have a
start it.
lot of books I
I'll
need to
read it.
read.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So, why does this matter? Or what's the girl saying? Fun. Um, to what the girls are saying. Um, so my mentor, Dr. Susan Bond, um, she texted me because she was getting caught up on the yeah. She's so dope. She texted me the other day and she's just like, I'm catching up on the podcast. I'm just so proud of you and y'all's dynamic and all the things. It's so great. So we ended up actually having a conversation, just a catch up conversation because she's retired and she encouraged me in the things. And we probably should have a wise person come and talk about things because we were talking about people's lack of intellectual curiosity and we were also talking about she's an older woman and she was talking about how people ask her will she ever get remarried and the answer is always no. Like no, like and it's because she's like I'm not raising another man, like I'm not doing it. And also she was like there's not many men who can compete with me intellectually. And I was like, that is always the conversation that smart girls have.
And it is strange too, because I do resonate so much with like, would you rather be alone or with somebody who intellectually irritates you? And it's like, and I'd be like, I think alone. I'm not
Yeah.
joking, but yeah.
Because the conversation is not smart, book smart, whatever. It's intellectual curiosity. Have they stopped desiring to learn? And then just some people try to sound smarter than they actually are, or too smart for they like. And it's like
And then be
actually that
loud and
doesn't make
wrong.
sense.
Be loud
Like,
and wrong. You screaming and you wrong. You at the top of your
yeah.
lungs and you even wronger.
Yeah, you're
Shh.
wrong, girl. Please be quiet. And it's like we can have opposing views, but at least make sure your view is grounded in actual things and not just like opinion. So yeah, that's what the girls are saying over here. Yeah,
Literally
yeah,
nothing. Not even in. That's why I asked that. I was like, have you been plugged in? Because I feel like I have. Usually I get like a call or something in the week, but I haven't gotten anything. So
yeah. I don't know if
I'll
we've
circle
gotten
back
much
up.
engagement either. Um, so this also might be the slow turn of the algorithm because they probably fed us quickly for the first few things and now we are like you're just a normal account
Fighting.
now and you gotta actually have to work
Right.
hard and you have to pay for the
Right.
advertisement. So
But
um
that and also like I think like with episode like this one, I think once we get this one in the juices, I think it'll probably, because low key, we probably could do a clip from this. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
Yeah. So know what the girls are saying for me, but I could do the next one.
Okay.
Why does this matter? Why did this matter? Cue beautiful music.
This matters to me because I guess we were and thinking about we talked about a lot of stuff today. Thinking about the like black women and friendships and all the things. It matters because I think constantly like we should be in community and blah 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 blah. And it's like, how do we live in community when we are in different tax brackets, feeling guilty, all the things. And I think we're constantly all trying to figure that out. I don't even know if that's probably not even a deep answer, but I think it's the it's not. How do we stay in community with people? And this kind of sounds like the successful conversation we had too.
A little bit, yeah. But
Yeah,
we had a real life example.
yeah. I think it also matters because like, why are we just throwing Jesus on somebody literally like saying I was down bad and you ain't do nothing, girl? And my feelings was hurt. And also just, did she admit her feelings were hurt? Or were her feelings hurt? Well, she said she was resentful. Is that a feeling? I think that's a feeling. So she did acknowledge her feelings. So I'm proud of her for that. Girl, you don't know this lady. But I'm proud for her for that. Like, you acknowledge your feelings of X, Y, and Z. But don't throw Jesus on it. No. I don't know if she did that. She just figure of speech. She was just like, Jesus. Don't watch people struggle. I think that's why it matters also. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. If you can help it.
Yeah, what you said earlier, you've been given a blessing to be a blessing. And I actually just tagged mine onto yours. It also matters because, baby, make peace with the fact that Black life plight is what it is. So you ain't gonna be able to save it. Also, so like the conversation is twofold. You ain't gonna be able to save it, so stop trying. But also, oh my God, I don't want to have to be the person that gives and all the other things. That's the plight of Black people.
Make peace.
Make peace with it, because you're not also
gonna
want
give
to
or you gonna teach.
you not, unless you just want, you gonna be okay with somebody starving. Sorry, we can't live lavishly like the whites. Like, real talk, I'm not even kidding. Like, the age, that's not our plight. It sucks. Our history sucks. Make peace. Make peace. Our lives are what they are. Make peace with it, baby girl. Like, for real. Oof. Make peace with it, because the sooner you do, yeah, go ahead. No, you fine. I'm done.
Oh, go ahead.
The sooner you do, the easier it'll be. The sooner you do, the stronger you'll become. And I know strength in Black women, sometimes we get frustrated by that, but resilience and all that. But in this context, I am going to use strength, because what I'm saying is, I ain't gonna lie, it don't get lighter. That's not true. It don't get lighter. But our arms get stronger. And that strength allows us to do the, girl, you was in Mexico for 7 weeks, right? And you was and fun, and happy and peace and all that. Like, you find witty ways to live a dynamic life in the midst of all the things that you have to support and care for and all that. So make peace with it and keep pushing, Black girl, period.
You was saying that we don't have the luxury of like living lavish lives like the white folk. Like, our lives are so entangled with each other because we have to use each other to survive. And think about like the auntie or the cousin who had a little bit more money than your mama might have had, and they were the one who exposed you to a little bit better. My auntie, like, I used to go to her house and spend the night with my cousin, and I used to bring my clothes in a Kroger bag. And she was like, I'm not doing that no more. And she got me a duffel bag. And it's like, those are the things that are, make peace with the fact that you are now the one that will expose. And if not, you're not giving $200 every month for a bill, you might be doing those small things that is like exposing your family to a little bit better. Like, so just make peace with the fact that that's now you. Like, now you. And no, you
and
can't
how much
do
of a blessing that was, right? And how much of a blessing that you just told me that story, and I just felt, I was like, I know, like, when a Black woman who you admire put you on game in some small little way, and you'd be like, oh, and meanwhile it was something so little to her, like she just like, oh baby, put that down, and you like, I carry bags now. I don't do. my things. You know, like, that's beautiful. And again, we not them folks. We not them. We this. We this. And so because of that, we do get pleasures in the sharedness and in the ancestors, not the forefathers. Like, oh, my ancestors did this so that I can do X, and the giving of back and the sharing of resources, like I said. Yeah, so make peace with that. We can't on one end do all the screaming of blackness, black, 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 Juneteenth, all black, black, black. This is the ethic of black, honey, honey. Contending with the ugly and the beautiful, and using the beautiful to persist us forward in the ugly. Like, yeah, so, yeah, I love that. That's good.
Aunties are so important.
They are. Come on, auntie. Come on, aunties. Listen, do we want to, this episode, do we want to, especially if we want to get our thing back up?
Do we want to pay for something? Or do we want to name it something? Raven. Rest. Instead of doing this video, instead of doing the video you just edited,
yeah,
do this video?
No. Yeah. No. Because I'm just thinking about the week and the relevance. No.
I understand. However, leave all this in too. Our ethic is that we rest.
I love you. You're right.
And you are out there seeing your man, so see your man. And you had a long day, like traveling.
I really did. You're right.
You broke a nail and everything.
I did. It's so
Find a nail
bad.
shop, actually. Don't do that. Don't edit a video. Find the nail shop.
That's true. Namaste. Namaste, you're correct. Thank you so much. Don't you love black women, guys?
We will have processed this after B. Simone has not gone viral. Maybe she goes viral again.
She will. More than likely she will. No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, well, thank you for that. And y'all will enjoy it. But the thing is, and we have our audience. They enjoy it when we talk about it. Julesy be doing that. She be putting out stuff about like hot topics 3 months later. And I'd be like, oh, I'm glad to hear your thoughts on that. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, well, bye, guys. We love you.
Thank y'all. Bye.